Right here is the presentation I'll be doing at the Butler County Educational Conference 2016. YouTube Screencasts in the Reverse Classroom, How the Internet Saved My Sanity. Why YouTube and Screencasts? So, like many teachers, we don't have enough time to get through the material that we need to get through, or more importantly, we don't have enough time to sit with the kids who need it the most. We have too many tests to take, whether they're end-of-course exams or they're district-mandated exams or there are state-mandated exams. Oftentimes, you're teaching new content that you're unfamiliar with. And also, YouTube and Screencasts are fast and easy. They're a great way to share your knowledge and to give new content to students in a way that they can digest on their own, and it's just so easy to make once you're used to it. All right, so I was a professional musician. I was a drummer. I went to school at the Conservatory of Music in Cincinnati, and I lived in Cincinnati for a while. I was on tour with bands, and I moved to New York City and was on tour with groups. But then when I came back to Cincinnati, I found this job for a performing arts instructor at School of the Arts, and I was thrown into a job that I was qualified for, but my background is in drum set, bass, and piano, and mostly I was teaching guitar. So a couple things. I didn't go to school to be a teacher, so I wasn't totally trained in creating lesson plans, and I didn't have a lot of experience building curriculum. The teacher that I replaced left basically nothing for me to use, so I had no curriculum, I had no worksheets or workbooks, and the material I'm teaching, there isn't a repertoire of material. So I was teaching how to play small group, jazz, rock, funk, R&B, and there isn't a lot of material out there designed for group teaching. There's a lot of that for one-on-one teaching, but not for the group. And then again, all the guitar stuff I was doing isn't necessarily my content area, so there was a struggle. So I had to figure out, I had some issues to overcome. So as teachers, what do we do when we don't have a resource? You Google things. And so as a musician, I was used to using YouTube as a resource. So what I started to do first was use YouTube to find guitar lessons that were already made that I was using for myself and I could also use to teach the students. So curating playlists is a really great way to do this. There's so much free content out on YouTube, and there's so much professionally created, high-quality free content on YouTube. It's really easy to do. It's also a really good way to organize and distribute stuff to the students, and also it stays there forever, so you can just go back to your playlists when the next year comes back around. So let's take a look here. So here are some playlists that I've created over the years. Here's some theory lessons. Here's a rhythm class. Here's some jazz band things. We had some summer classes. This is one on muscle memory. So since I teach music, I talk a lot about how to practice and what muscle memory is. Being a musician, practice is everything. You need to be able to be by yourself and single-mindedly work through problems and focus on small details and repeat them over and over again. So I use these muscle memory videos to do that. So if you follow this link, this just shows you a bunch of my playlists. I have lots of them. And if you ever want to just share them, you just click on the list and then share the link right here. You can also click the share button here. This is one that I made for how to use a PA. It's a lot of the basics on how microphones work and the science of sound, and then some simple use and ideas. So let's go to the next slide here. All right, so this is my muscle memory playlist. These are just 5 videos that I feel like demonstrate to my students the importance of muscle memory and how once you get beyond just the mechanics of learning something and you've repeated it enough times, you can start to worry about higher level problems. So this is just the thing I show. These are all short videos, just a way to get them to see professionals at work. All right, so how do you make a playlist? You just find a video, click the add button, create a title, and then I made a screencast of a video on how to make playlists. So let's just check that out real quick.
Okay, say you want to learn how to be a better presenter at a conference. So I did a Google or a YouTube search for how to present at a conference. Here are a ton of videos. Let's say we don't have coffee in it. Let's say we want to use this video. Open it up. Down here in the corner, it has a Add To button. There's your Add To button. Click Add To. And down here at the bottom says Create New Playlist. So simply click that, type in a name, how to present. And then there's your first video added to the playlist. Let's say we watch a couple more. I like this one. Again, you just scroll down, click Add To, and then there's how to present. So I got another one on my list. So let's say we've got our playlist set up. What you can do is go to your channel, or you can even go to my library. So I'll go to the library. There's my first one right there. How to present. Just made that. Click that right there. And then you can share this link. If you click the share button, there it is. Right there. Alright. So there's your minute and 30-second video on how to create a YouTube playlist.
So how do I use this in my classroom or in your classroom? There's so many different things you can do. You could use this just simply for introductions of content. There's so many videos out there, whether it's social studies or history or math, you could find a good introductory video. You can use this as enrichment for students who are ready to move forward. You can post more challenging content on these playlists, or you could find, like if you use Khan Academy or other online resources, for extra notes for students. You can use it that way. The thing about the playlist that's so nice is it just organizes it, and it's an easy way to share with other people. All right, part 2. So I decided, or I realized, that I needed to be making videos. And the reason I needed to make the videos for students is because I was running out of time. I didn't have enough class time during the day to teach the students what I needed to teach them. And I needed them to learn things quickly because we had deadlines for performances, and those were approaching very quickly. So what I did was I started making individual lesson videos for students. How to play this part of the solo, or here's the bridge to this song, or here's how you sing this section. And I made them, and I copied the videos that I had seen online. So my first version of making content was imitation. So I made them, they were long. They were 10, they were 12-minute videos. There was often way too much information, and I did all of the work for them. So if we needed to practice something, I would make them practice it with me in the video. So 5 or 6 minutes of the video would be me repeating the pattern over and over from slow to fast. So here's some examples. This is a major scale lesson. This one's 12 minutes. This one's 16, almost 17 minutes. This one's about 10 minutes. You can do this skill in about 2 minutes. There's no reason for this to be this long. Because here's what happens. The students would just scroll through the video to find what they needed. Oftentimes they would miss key topics. This just simply is a regurgitation. This is recall. It's a very low-level thought. And all they would do is learn the little bits and pieces they needed, but they wouldn't get increased understanding. So they would learn how to play the material, but they really wouldn't understand the music theory behind it. Or they would miss little notes that I had buried at the end of the videos. So my second approach, after making probably 15 or 20 different videos, I realized I needed to do what I call lowbrow high-tech. So they're videos, which are high-tech, we're using the internet, which is current technology, but I did not make them flashy. I made them very simple, very quick, very to the point. So they're much shorter. So my videos now are 3 to 5 minutes in length. I have lots of labels all over the videos and title cards helping the students, giving them suggestions. I have interactive instructions, so I'm constantly telling them to pause, quiz themselves, rewind if you're not sure. The reason this is so effective is it forces the students to do all of the work. The kids have to rewind the videos. They have to put the reps in themselves. I'm not forcing them to do it, or I'm not making them do it with me. I'm forcing them to do it on their own, so they retain much more from this. So here is some title cards. What I do is I run the titles at the bottom across for large portions of the video, so when you do need to go backwards and scroll through, you can see the little titles of what's happening. Here's the stop and practice, because at this point in the video, if you go on but you're unfamiliar with the previous content, you're wasting time. You're not ready to go on. You need to be able to play the content from this point and earlier before you can understand the next part of the video, which I think is really important, getting them to stop and practice and quiz themselves before they go on. Some more title cards, and then just an overall idea of they need to make sure that they understand, they need to learn how to practice, they need to go slow, they need to repeat the patterns that they're having trouble with. My big epiphany, and this was really the thing that changed everything with the videos and made the videos so much more effective, was I had to teach my students how to teach themselves. They weren't used to doing this. They were used to having teachers guide them through every step of the process. So I had to teach them how to break things down and how to teach themselves via these videos. So here's a link here.
Go to how to use these guitar theory and guitar lesson videos. The lessons are designed to be as short as possible, and the concept behind these videos is that you stop and start and rewind the videos as you need to. So if you watch something go by and 30 seconds happens and you don't understand it, you have to stop it and rewind it. The whole concept between this, it's called like a reverse classroom. So you watch these on your own and take notes and learn as much as you can at your speed. And you can separate yourself, you can have your instrument with you, you can take notes, you can do whatever you need to do to be successful. So that when we come to class, your questions are already on the next level. We can get past the nitty-gritties of like, put your finger here, and this is a half step, and this is a whole step, and we can go on to application right away. So this is to save class time and to get you to learn at your pace, at your leisure, and in a way that's comfortable for you.
So the hardest part about this is if the students don't watch the videos, then you've kind of wasted time. So what I do at the start of the year is my first exercise with them. Now I know this is music class, but there's ways to do this in any class. My first exercise with them is how to do this, is how to practice and teaching them how to use these videos. So I have a whole playlist here that puts together a song that's, you know, based on clapping and snapping and patting your leg. But they teach themselves via video. I don't teach them anything. So throughout the videos, I have notes on stop this, practice this, work on this. I give them instructions, but I don't do it for them. I just tell them what to do, and I have to train them. So it's really valuable to spend this time training the students so they know how to interact and use your videos before you throw them at them. If you haven't given them the right education, you can't have the expectation that they will correctly use your tool. This is a new piece of technology, and they are going to need training. So here's what worked, and here's some things that I really like and use a lot. So this is at 2:58.
All right, before getting into rhythm sheet 1A, 4, 2, and 3, 4. Now if you're not ready, don't go on. Maybe rewind and listen and watch me do that again, or hit pause and practice it by yourself a few times. But if you're not ready, if you didn't understand that, stop and interact with the video till you understand. Here we go.
So then now what I'll do is work on that number again, and I do that several times through the video where I'll demonstrate it for them, and I'll give them time to say pause, practice it, and when you come back, we'll do it together.
Clapping and playing. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. And 3.
So there I do it together with them, and then I'll say at the end of that, if that wasn't good for you, stop, go backwards, practice some more, and then come back and let's do it again. So here's another piece of the puzzle that I liked. 118. This is just the constant reminder of don't go on till you're ready.
9, 7, 1. Right, when you're ready, practice all those. When you're ready, come back and we'll do them together.
So this is a more advanced video. So I've got the title card on here showing them notes about what we're doing, and then it's a play along. So when you're ready, come play with me, and we'll do it together. I also like to include self-assessments in my videos so they can check their own understanding and see where they
Intervals.
are. Let's move this down to here, 433. So here's a little quiz that's built into the video.
Sharp, F sharp, there's your key of D.
Now, here's a short quiz. When you're ready, come back with the answers. So I give the students a minute to take notes on these intervals, and then welcome back, D to F, one intervals. But if you haven't trained them to do this, then it's no good. Then they won't do what you need them to do. They'll watch the videos and be done with it. So screencasts are the next thing to talk about. A little short thing on the reverse classroom or the reversed classroom. So for me, this has been incredibly successful. The more I do this, the better it is. It's a pre-teaching tool, so you can spend class time doing homework and solving problems. And then at home is when they do the lecture. So the traditional model is lecture in class, drills, skills, and exercises as homework. The reverse model is the video lecture at home, and the student can go at their own pace, take notes, rewind, move at whatever works for them, and then class time is used for homework and reteaching. If you're going to do the reverse classroom model, you have to quiz when the students come back. I just do short, like 5-point or 10-point kind of exit ticket quizzes, so you can check for their understanding, and they understand that there is an assessment that's going to come after their time that they spent watching the videos. If they know that they're not going to be tested on it, there's a small portion of the class that will never do the work. You have to have those tests there just to encourage them to do the work. So here's a video about what a screencast is.
What is a screencast? A screencast is an app that captures everything you do on your desktop screen. So whether it's open up a video, so I wanted to show you a video that is, what is a screencast? I just did a YouTube search for how to make a screencast, and then here we go. So if you have a video, it'll capture the sound and images in the video.
Hi, this video will show you how to make a screencast video to use within your classroom for flipped teaching.
Aha! This guy's also doing flipped or reverse classroom. Woo! So this is a screencast of how to make a screencast. All it is something that videotapes your screen. So what's nice about it is you can type, you can point to things, you can highlight notes, you can show students how to access things. It's really great for software instruction. If you're trying to teach somebody how to use a piece of software, you just do it on your screen. You can do it step by step. Did I move too fast for you when I explained this? That's kind of a good thing. So you have to train your students to interact with the video. They have to go backwards and make their way through the video, taking notes. It's a really good thing to do is take snips of the screen, and you can put that into your own notes. So here is a couple examples of screencasts that I use. This is how to use this audio program called Audacity.
And this is,
and you'll notice that I like to have a small Word document over here so I can type and take notes there, and kind of my outline for my lesson, and then I use the rest of the screen for the screencast.
Audacity 102, so this is how to use a couple more of the tools here that are really helpful. So here's this little sample I have. It's just me counting. And remember, if you hit Shift, this will change, and hit Spacebar, it will continually loop. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the first tool is the selection tool. This is if you want to highlight something. If you want to delete it, you just hit the delete key or backspace, and it's gone. It's undo.
So that's a real simple example of how to do kind of software teaching. And then this is for subplans, which I find super effective. Just when I want to communicate to the students in the sub, it's just a lot easier to send a video.
Okay, hello everybody. I will be at Ross High School this morning doing an ambassador visit. So Mr. Fry will take attendance, and Mr. Erb and Mrs. Ruby will be keeping an eye on you. Here's what we're going to do. If everything is going as planned, hopefully you're in these different rooms. You should be in A, B, band room, C, D, and E. You can use the key to unlock these doors. Here's what I need you to do. I guess I didn't change the permissions on this page, so you guys could have uploaded your things. First of all, why didn't somebody just say, hey, change the permissions so we can upload? So step one, everybody needs to fill out, you can either just copy this template and put your songs in there.
Just a great way to make detailed sub-plans so the students can understand exactly what you need them to do. And so what I would do in this situation, they get the sub-plans in print in an email, and then I have them watch the video. So they have it two ways. And you have to explain to the students before you do this your expectation that you've given it to them both print and video, that there's no excuse for not understanding or not following the directions. When you make it so clear, it's easy to have expectations that are high. So then once you're comfortable, you combine everything together. This is just a list of my playlists. So this is for the How to Read Rhythms class. So I made some screencasts into playlists, and so I just share this with the students. This is also content that's in Google Drive, so they have all the information right here, ready to go, and it's there for the future. So if I ever need this again, it's permanently on YouTube. Let's go back to the screencast. All right, so here's some of the good things. It's there for the future. Students can check it as they need it, and I make the videos my first line of defense. When students come to me and they don't understand something, I ask them first to sit and watch the video, and often I'll just have them watch the video right next to me so I can watch them take notes. It's really easy to make. If you need to, you can make special videos for individual students. Sometimes kids just need an extra 2 or 3 minutes, and oftentimes you don't have that, so you can make these videos real quick, or you can do it ahead of time. It gives you time to work with the top or the bottom. What I mean by that is the majority of the class will be okay with watching these videos. They'll be able to solve the problems and teach themselves. So while the majority of the class is doing a worksheet or something, you can work with the low-end students who need more help and who might need that one-on-one attention, or you can work with the high-end kids who are getting ready to move further and beyond what you're doing with the majority of the group. It's also a good way to get to know your kids. They get used to seeing you, and you have a collaboration and dialogue back and forth with them on how to make your videos better. And YouTube is a tool that the students are already all using. They all use YouTube all the time. It does take a long time to build a library. I've been doing this for a couple years now, and it takes a long time, but you get good at it. Just start small. You do need to spend a considerable amount of time training your students. If you just throw this at them, it will not work. And the rest of these cons are kind of some district/personal needs. Can you use YouTube in your district? Do your students have internet at home? And are you teaching a class that can be taught via video? I've been doing this for a little while now, and I really think you could probably teach any class this way, and you can combine the actual video with the screencasts. I think if you're doing this in your classroom, think small, start slow. I start with reactions to things. So I realized a lesson wasn't taught well, and so what I would do is make a screencast to solve the problem that a big chunk of the group was having, and then I have that screencast for the next time. You have to train your students. You have to get feedback too. Make sure you get feedback from the kids and fix or alter, because if it's not working for them, then it's not working for you either. So my video library has gotten pretty huge, which I'm real proud of now, and I've got almost my entire first year of content for all the instruments I teach at school is online, and I've got probably the second half of my senior year content. So it's great, it's convenient. I just go to it, I search, and make it happen. All right.